All right. So I do not think that I did a sufficient job showing you how the next steps in order for you to do the assignment for that scavenger hunt. So I want to give you that. I want to do that for you right now. All right. So we're going to do our screen. I'm just going to share my screen. We always start in the same spot. Just things, click and zoom things. Okay. Start in the same normal spot. We're going to always start here. I do have things printed out as well. If you'd prefer, they should be on the desk. Yeah. If not, they are here. You're going to click on this, and it is a scavenger hunt. So, indoor, and all of them are taped to the front board. So if you want to do that, that's fine. If not, and you want to sit at your desk, you can start on the problem pages here. And if you click on that, I'm showing them a different thing. These are them, right? So they're in black and white on the front because the color printer did not work. So you can start from any one, just pick one. And the other part here, you're going to open down here, or you have this hard copy that looks like this. So make it a little smaller. All right. So this is what this is the answers. This is what I'm going to be looking for in the end. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm just going to start with Applebee's, but you really can start with any of them because it's a circle, right? This top part is the answer to the previous question. I know we've done this before, but so x minus 1 squared plus 16, equals 16 is the answer. If I start with Applebee's, that will be the answer for the last question, right? And you follow the chain, right? This is the answer. So to get to the next one, you do this problem down here. Now, this is one of the harder ones because we have to complete the square 2 times. So I'm going to show you how to do that because we didn't get as deep into that as I think we should have. Okay, so I should have unboxed before. I am going to look at this. Oops, I forgot that I'm in different camis. I'm going to do this problem by separating it into 3 boxes over here. My x terms, my y terms, and my constants. Okay, so, and it's really sketchy. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna make this bigger because I just recorded a video that it wasn't as big as it should have been. Okay, so I'm gonna put all my x terms in here, right? I have an x squared, and I have a negative 4x, right? Please be mindful of the sign in front. The sign in front of the 4 is a negative, so that means it's a negative 4x, right? It's a minus. You can change all subtraction into addition problems by making it plus a negative, right? Sometimes that's very helpful, especially when you have to move stuff around. All right, next box, I want my y term. I want my y terms, and I do want my y terms. I have just remembered that I'm also looking for some space, right? Doing too much. I want some space in this box because I need to complete the square, right? That's going to come in a second. So we have our y squared term, and we have our positive 6y, right? Again, I want to keep some space in my box so that I can add my complete my square. Sorry. And then over here, now our constant here is a -3, but I want to move it over here, right? So I'm going to do my inverse operation. I'm going to add 3 to both sides, and 0 plus 3 is 3, right? Oops, wrong cami, doing 2 camis at once. It's fine, don't worry. Okay, so, all right. I'm going to throw in a couple other symbols, right? We've been adding these together. And as I said, we brought it on the other side of the equal sign. So let me just draw those in there. Okay, let's complete the square. This is what we've been doing in class. This is what we've been building to, right? We have our b term here. And what we're going to do is you take half of it and you square it, right? We're going to add that to both sides, but I'm going to do a couple things at the same time, right? Like I said, we have to take the half of the b term. So we're going to do x minus that half of b term, minus that 2, right? And then we know we're trying to make circles here, so do it. So we took the half of b term is a -2. We have to square that, which is 4. So I'm going to add 4 to my x box. Then, and that completed the square, right? Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing for the y term. We're going to take our half of a b. I'm just already going to put it in there, so I know that that's going to be there, right? Like I know this is the square. So half of b is 3. That's what's going to get squared, right? So I'm going to add 3 squared to both sides. Ooh, and I got, because the phone rang. See, cell phones are a problem. Okay, so I'm going to add 9 here. Something that I did not do, but I'm going to do now. I added 4 here. So in my equation, this side is 4 more, right? It weighs 4 more and whatever. And then I added 9 more. So now I'm even more unequal, right? Inequality. So whatever we added here, we added 4, got to add it over here. That's why I was running out of space on the screen. And then we added 9 right here, so I have to add 9 over there. You should do it at the same time. And put your phones away. Obviously put your phones away. It's after hours. I didn't realize it was going to ring. Okay. So let me see if I can see the whole thing. Oh, that's why, because we're over here. Oh, no, bud. Okay. So there's our equation. I feel like now the red box is just distracting. So I'm just going to check that out there. Erase the wrong thing. Don't erase the wrong thing. Okay, cool. So what we have is we have this. Well, let me highlight it. This and this are equal. This and this are equal, right? So we're just translating it. We're going to add them together. And in total, they're going to be this, right? 3 plus 4, which is 7. 7 plus 9, which is 16, right? So our equation of a circle, do you remember, right, is r squared equals x minus h squared plus y minus k squared, right? So we could do a little rearranging if we wanted to. We could take our little 16. I'm gonna, we've seen this. So I'm just gonna boop, 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 right? I don't really care about that mess up there anymore. I've already translated to this stuff, right? So I'm gonna move this and it's gonna match up like right there. I'm gonna move this and it's gonna match up right there, right? And I'm gonna take that 16, I'm gonna pull it over here, right? And then I'm gonna draw in my symbols that I'm missing. Let's see, equal sign, and we need a plus, right? So there we go. We have our symbols. And we can figure out now, like we had all of that to figure out the center of the circle, right? We can figure out our center, which is at HK, right? So H is a 2. So our coordinate, where we can find this on the graph, the center is at 2. And then this one, we have +3, but it's supposed to be minus k. So that tells you to flip the sign. So this 3, instead of a +3, it's going to be a -3. Okay, so we want you to tell us, right, the center, and we also want you to tell us the radius, right? And that's your r. So our r squared is 16. What squared is 16, or what is the square root of 16? It is 4. Right? I know we've been talking about, squares can have 2 answers, the positive and negative, but in this dimension, the ones we understand so far, distance is always positive, right? So don't stress about that negative sign for this. If we're talking about a circle, it's supposed to take up space, and you can't have a negative amount of space taken up. Again, in this dimension. Okay, so that's how you do this problem, right? So our center is 2, -3. So in our answer key here, our set answer is going to be our 2. It's way too big, but that's fine. 2, -3. And my radius is 4, right? So my restaurant name where I started at not Applebee's, right? And then our answer in standard form is right here. So can I copy and paste a whole bunch of stuff? Let me see. Copy. This. Paste. If I'm in this. Oh, now I'm just clicking on weird stuff. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. Paste. Paste. No, it's not working. Anyways, that's the answer. You can put that in there, right? Or you can put 4 squared equals x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 plus 3 squared. Please read what I wrote, not what I said. Okay, so that's how you're going to do it. Then, since that is our answer, we're going to go and find that, right? Not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. Oh, there she is, right? They have the 16 over here, but just like I did, it doesn't matter which side, as long as we're talking about balancing equations. If we're turning the whole equation, it's fine. I just that's apparently what I wanted to do right there. So this is my next one. So in here, in this sheet, how can I make that? I don't know what that. Let's experience this together. Okay, so Applebee's, right? And we can write our standard form. The next restaurant we would go to is Panera, right? Type in. Right? Type in Panera, solve this one, right? Put into standard form by completing the square, then identify the center and radius. Ooh, that's a little bit tricky. Should we do it? Sure, let's do it. All right, so I'm going to come here. Do I have room? I have room. I can do this. Okay, so we're going to move this. Oh, just running around now. Okay, doing this next question. We have our equation x squared plus 2x equals 35, right? And I'm just going to put that, right, that equals 35 just over here for a second because it told me to complete the square, so that's what I'm going to do, right? I look here, I look to my b term, and at the same time I write down, I know this is going to be x, half of 2 is that 1. When we square it, we have to add that square to the side, right? So 1 squared is 1, right? Added it to one side of the equation, make sure you add it to the other side of the equation, right? So we have x plus 1 squared. That's going to equal to, in the right spot, please, equals 36, right? So we can take the square root of both sides. I'm just going to draw a real, right? We're taking the square root of both sides. We're doing it as radius, so I'm not stressing about, I want to make sure I can do it positives and negatives. So there. So we have x plus 1. Oh, I just started solving it because I do that all the time. Put it in standard form, but identify the radius and the center. Identify the center and the radius. So that's a little confusing because there's no y terms here. Let's see what the answer is going to be. So that does equal 6. I'm solving more. Let's see. I completed the square. I think we want that x plus 1 squared equals 36. There she is. I just kept solving. Sometimes I do silly things, right? It asked me to do that. So that's just the directions. Put into standard form by completing the square. Then identify the center and the radius. This one did not have, this is not a circle, right? It just has the x's. So remember the x's only go, when you're graphing an x, that's your x squared, right? Either it's going to be positive when it's positive, it faces up. When it's negative, it faces down. And I think that that's enough for now. Give it a shot, right? So after Panera's McDonald's, I already did 2 for you. You already know the third restaurant. So finish that up. Try to get as much done as you can. Ask me questions when I get back. I will be there on Thursday. But or maybe I'm showing them this on Thursday. I don't know. That might be better. Bye.